Hi, I'm Gwen and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how I like to batch cook for the week so that I am prepared with gut healthy ingredients. I can easily put recipes together that will feed me and my family. Today we're going to make a chicken, a salmon, a whole variety of roasted vegetables, and a large pot of rice. And then I'm going to show you how to make sauces and put things together really quickly, really simply, so that you are ready for the week. All right, let's go. We are gonna start off with a roasted chicken. I have a flattened chicken because it cooks a lot quicker. It's very easy and your butcher will do it for you, no problem, I am sure. I do also suggest doing 2 at a time. That way you can have one for dinner, roasted chicken dinner, and one for leftovers. But let's get started. What I love about flattened chicken is it takes 45 minutes to an hour to make. It all gets crispy and delicious, and you can ask your butcher to flatten it for you, which at our local store they're really wonderful and will do it for you every time. Today we're gonna leave the flavors very neutral because we're gonna use this in multiple different styles or recipes just to show you some options. But you can absolutely marinate this, flavor it however you want. We are going to be using extra virgin olive oil, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and that is it. So what we're going to do is put this on a baking sheet and wash our hands. Okay, we're going to drizzle it with generously olive oil. We are going to put a generous amount of sea salt, probably 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a teaspoon of salt. Lots of fresh cracked pepper. And let's see, I'm thinking, a teaspoon of garlic powder. See what it looks like. Yeah, that looks good. Then I'm just gonna rub it in, and the truth is, this is gonna be delicious just as it is, but I'll show you how to make it even more delicious. I want some of that olive oil to go underneath. And we're gonna bake this at 375 for probably about 50 to 60 minutes. We'll check it. Okay, let's pop it in the oven. We're gonna let it cook, and then we're gonna make cool things with it. Okay, now that the chicken is in the oven, let's get our salmon going. It is so quick and easy, and we're also gonna get a pot of rice going. Okay, so to start off with, you're gonna need a fillet of salmon. I have marinated this in just a little bit of lemon juice. If you have people in your life who aren't crazy about the flavor of fish or salmon, marinating it for even 20 to 30 minutes will help kind of soften that fishy flavor, but it's delicious either way. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it on here. I'm gonna wash my hands. Now, because this is going to be the jump off point for different recipes or ideas for you, I'm gonna keep the flavors really neutral, and I'm just gonna add some fresh lemon juice and some lemon seeds, because that's just how it is. Some freshly cracked pepper. And some sea salt. And then we're just gonna pop this in the oven for about, I would say 15 to 20 minutes. It's gonna depend a little bit on how thick your salmon fillet is. This one's kind of chunky, so it's gonna take a little bit of extra time. All right. I recommend doing a double batch of rice so that you have good leftovers. You're gonna use it all week long. Also, I am making white rice today, but use whatever you want. You can soak it and then rinse it to make it a little bit easier to digest. Today I'm just using some delicious basmati rice from India. So good. And the amazing thing about batch cooking rice, pre-cooking it, is when you cook rice and then let it cool, it actually builds up starches, and these starches are what feed your microbiome. So it's kind of like fertilizing the good bugs in your gut, and that will just make you feel better. So that's a win. I'm gonna get this on the stove, and then we are gonna move on to roasted veg. All right, now that the rice is cooking, we are going to batch cook roasted vegetables. And this is an amazing opportunity to get all the rainbows into your diet on a regular basis. The reason why we want to be eating a whole wide range of colors and vegetables is that the chemicals or phytonutrients from those plants is actually what builds the diversity in our microbiome. And that is essentially what helps us feel amazing. So let's get started by introducing you to a whole variety of vegetables to roast. All right. Cauliflower. So you can see I have a wide range of vegetables that we are gonna prep up. What you need is to, of course, have your oven preheated to 375, and I recommend at least 2 baking sheets. I prefer lined with parchment paper because it makes my life easier, but you do you. And we're just gonna get these going and lay it all out and roast them up. And then I'm gonna show you all the amazing ways that you can eat all this food. All right, we're gonna start off with a whole head of cauliflower because it's amazing, and just cut it into florets, bite-sized pieces. All these little bits on the cutting board are so good roasted up, so definitely make sure those make the tray. Next, we're gonna do 1 good head of broccoli. I'm gonna do some Brussels sprouts, so we want to probably not use that one, but we'll clean these up and cut them in half. We just want to be removing the outer leaves that have been handled a lot and are kind of beat up. I'm gonna give these a rinse off, and then we'll move on to the next vegetables. Just trying to dry them up as much as possible, add them to our tray, and we need to switch trays because this one is full. So I'm gonna wash up my peppers, peel my carrots and my sweet potato, and then we're gonna get down to business. All right, I'm gonna take off the rougher parts of the sweet potato or yam, whatever it is. You can absolutely peel the whole thing. I don't mind the peel though. This is a white one, but you can use orange or purple, whatever you got. Now, the trick to roasting vegetables is you want them to all cook sort of at the same rate, at least pretty much. So the sweet potatoes I'm doing into cube sized. The rice is done. These are too big. Roasted red onions are pretty much the greatest thing in the world. If you haven't had them, you should try. You can use whatever onion you like. I'm using both here. They're both delicious. When you roast them, it releases kind of a sweet flavor. That's amazing. All right, we've prepared everything. Now, when it comes to roasting veg, you can pretty much do anything. I clearly have run out of room, but you can add mushrooms and zucchini and rutabaga and cabbage and just whatever you love. Fennel's amazing, all the things. We're gonna just go with what we have here because this is all I can fit. So we're gonna add a good amount of olive oil drizzled over top of everything. Some sea salt. You can add other things too. Turmeric is particularly amazing with the cauliflower. Also a little bit of nutritional yeast on there. So good. Fresh cracked pepper. And I have a little bit of rosemary left over that I'm gonna just sprinkle lightly on. So we're gonna put this in the oven. First, we're gonna grab the chicken and the salmon out of the oven to make space. This will take, I'm guessing, about an hour. I would start checking at about 45 minutes to see how things are coming together. You can stir it up, make sure nothing's getting too overly crisped. And these things do take time, but I think that when we're batch cooking or when we're spending time in the kitchen, it's so important to recognize that this is what is going to make us feel amazing throughout the week. So it is such a good use of your time and energy. I always suggest figure out ways to make it more fun. Timer. Things like having your favorite cups of tea, saving your favorite program or podcast. These are things that will make time in the kitchen more fun for you. You can get your family involved, or alternatively, if you're like me, usually try and kick your family out. All right, let's do this. Okay, let's put these in the oven. All right, once the chicken and the salmon have cooled down enough to handle, what you're gonna do is just tear all the meat off the chicken and flake the salmon into some Tupperwares, and then we can start building out some meal option ideas. I'm gonna start with the salmon. So I kind of want to break it off into sort of chunks, and you'll see why later. Okay, now we have a full fillet ready for all different options for lunches and dinners throughout the week. It is delicious on its own, so I absolutely recommend if you are gonna prep a salmon, you might as well do two. You can have roasted salmon for dinner one night and then prep all the leftovers for lunches and dinners throughout the week. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands and we're gonna do the chicken. I'm gonna keep little chunks of the skin because it is so delicious. This is one of my favorite ways to cook chicken because all the skin gets crispy and delicious, but you can absolutely peel it off if you don't love it. And you can save these bones to make stock or broth if you want. I just get my hands dirty, but I'm sure you could use a fork and knife if you wanted. Okay, once that's all done, we're gonna wash our hands, check on our vegetables. Some of them might be getting close to being done, especially we wanna be looking at that garlic. And then we're gonna get into building up some of the meal ideas for the week. Okay, while those vegetables continue to roast for a little bit longer, we're gonna put our chicken and salmon in the fridge, and I'm gonna get us started on making a bowl of goodness with a healthy, gut-healthy avocado creamy ranch dressing that is gonna be so yummy. So let's get started. All right, to make this gut-healthy ranch dressing, we are going to start with a half a cup of plain yogurt. I'm using coconut yogurt here, but you can use whatever you like. Just make sure that it's plain. This is the part that makes it gut healthy, all right? Adding in those live probiotics. We're gonna mix everything together in a blender, a high-speed blender. We also would like to have half a cup of water, some cilantro, a whole ripe avocado. You really want it to be ripe. This is what's gonna make it creamy. A fresh lime, and I'm gonna add in some grated jalapeno. That's optional, but it's kind of nice, a little kick, and some cilantro and salt. So simple. So let's get to building. I like to freeze my jalapeno peppers and then use a microplane and just grate it like this. You can do it however you like. It's probably like a half teaspoon. Because it's for kids too. yummy. Oh my gosh. Too much. That's like a shower all over my face. I'm back after my lime shower. Oh, now I'm nervous. Pinch of salt, and probably about a 1/4 cup of cilantro. All right, let's blend this up. So good, it's so filling, it makes an amazing dip as well. And the amazing yogurt combined with the avocado makes it very satisfying and satiating because of the healthy fat in there. All right, let's get our blender. Pop. It's nice and thick. If you want, you can thin it out with a little bit more water, but I think it's just perfect. We're gonna add this to a jar that we can store in the fridge. This sauce goes amazing on burritos or tacos or whatever. It's also a fantastic dip. You can zhuzh it up, add a little bit more of the grated jalapeno if you wanna add a little bit more kick. But for today, we're just gonna put it in this jar and then we're gonna build our first goodness bowl with our leftover chicken. Okay, I'm gonna get the rice and then I'm gonna get the lettuce and some things together and we'll build this up. All right, to build this bowl of goodness, we are gonna start off with about, I don't know, a handful of greens of your choice. I'm using romaine for the crunchy goodness. We're gonna use probably about a 1/2 cup of rice and just pop that into the bowl. This is optional, but I think it's delicious. Oh, do you know what we're forgetting? The chicken. Hold on. I got it. So we're gonna use, I don't know, a serving. So like a 1/2 cup, a cup. You get to decide. I wash my hands. We're gonna use some purple cabbage, sliced thin. Probably like a 1/4 cup, not tons. I am going to shred a carrot. I'm gonna use a little bit of red onion. This is optional, but I think it adds something good. It's probably only like a teaspoon. Use a quarter of an avocado. Not that piece. And just a little bit of cilantro to kind of add some zhuzh to the top. And then to this, we'll just drizzle a little bit of our amazing salad dressing on here. And that's it. That is the whole meal. Comes together so quickly. It's satisfying, it's delicious. It has all the elements that are going to nourish your body, feed your microbiome, and keep you full for many hours, which is fantastic. All right, I'm gonna tidy this up and carry on. Okay, nope. I'm gonna show you how to make really quick teriyaki chicken bowl with our batch cooked chicken and our big pot of rice and a few simple ingredients. I'm gonna start off by making a really quick salad dressing or whatever that's gonna add the flavor. So we're starting off with half a cup of coconut aminos, which is a substitute for soy sauce. You can use soy sauce or tamari, but we're using coconut aminos today. We have 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. We're gonna use juice from 1 lime. Citrus and me, we are not getting along today. Oh my goodness. We're gonna use a microplane and some ginger. I strongly suggest freezing your ginger. Peeling it with a spoon, the peel will come right off, and then freezing it all, because then it just grates so nice and fine and easy. You can use it for whatever you need ginger for, with no drama. You can also finely chop it. We're looking at about a teaspoon or just under. We're gonna use half a teaspoon of garlic powder. You can use fresh garlic if you like. I don't do super well with fresh garlic, so. And a tiny pinch of salt. We're gonna whisk it up. I'm gonna set it aside and grab a bowl to assemble our teriyaki chicken bowl. We're gonna start with probably about half a cup of rice. You can skip the rice if you want and just do extra Napa cabbage would be a delicious substitute, but today we're using rice. I'm gonna do a nice handful of chicken. It doesn't really look amazing, but it smells and tastes amazing. You just have to believe me. Okay, so let's build this baby. We're gonna start off with some purple cabbage. No, we're gonna start off with some greens. I'm using mixed greens today. You can use romaine, you can use butterlet, you can use whatever you want. Today, we're using mixed baby greens. Just gonna roughly chop them up. Use a little bit of purple cabbage. I love using purple cabbage because it adds delicious flavor, but also adds in phytonutrients that we don't normally have access to. Purple isn't a very common color, so yay purple cabbage. I'm gonna use a little bit of carrot. I'm gonna use a little bit of cucumber. A tiny bit of red onion. And I'm gonna grate this carrot. I don't think I'm gonna use the whole thing because it was huge. A little bit of cilantro leaves. If you wanted, you could add some toasted sesame seeds, some green onion, whatever else gets you excited, bok choy. But I'm gonna grab a spoon and I'm gonna drizzle this dressing on, and then this is done. Smells so good. And that is it. And now I'm going to check the peppers or the vegetables in the oven. Pretty sure they're done, and I'll put together one more chicken meal. That is so yummy. Okay, let's do it. I forgot. I wanted to add broccoli to this. It adds an amazing crunch and adds to the phytonutrient goodness. So we're gonna add that to the top. I chopped it up fairly fine because I don't want giant chunks of it, but I would just want, I don't know, that crunchy goodness. Okay, now it's done. Okay, let's pull the vegetables out of the oven. I can smell that they're ready. These are so delicious. You can see some of them are a little bit toasty, but that is okay. It all works out to be so delicious. We're gonna use this as the foundation for a really quick and easy chicken and veggie bowl with some tahini dressing. The recipe for the tahini dressing is on my smashed up or busted up hummus bowl, which is available also. You can check it out there. The other amazing ways that you can use these roasted vegetables are, they're basically endless. Today I'm also going to show you how to make a lentil salad, how to zhuzh up your lentil salad, but you can use them for breakfast with some eggs or so many ways. But let's build our chicken bowl today. You're going to need a bowl, and then we're just going to take scoops of some of everything. We're gonna add some chicken. Wash our hands. And then I've taken this tahini dressing right out of the fridge. It is a little bit kind of thicker when it's cold, but the heat from the vegetables is gonna melt it and it's gonna be so good. And that is it. You can add pumpkin seeds or hemp hearts or sunflower seeds or whatever you like to add some more crunchy goodness or whatever. Or you can just have it like this. It's delicious cold. It's amazing warm. You're gonna love it. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside, and then using some leftover lentil salad that you can find the recipe here as well, I'm gonna show you how you can just zhuzh it up with some of these amazing vegetables and kind of recreate it. All right, so leftover Greek lentil salad with some chickpeas and sun-dried tomatoes. It is so delicious. Even my kids love it. And then to this, we're just gonna add some extra flavors. This takes it from being a salad to way more of a meal. You can add the tahini dressing to this as well, which will be delicious. The lentils are currently marinating in their own amazing dressing, so you don't have to. You stir it up. And you can see that it is just a beautiful meal. It's amazing warm. You can heat the whole thing up or eat it cold on the go. You're gonna love it. All right. I'm gonna tidy all this up, and we are gonna make a really quick sushi bowl using our leftover salad, salmon, and we'll go from there. All right, let's put together this amazing sushi bowl. It comes together so quickly. So we're gonna take about half a cup or so of rice. A serving of salmon. It's kind of up to you how much you want. I'm going to use some lettuces, which I know is not normal of a sushi bowl, but phytonutrients, gut health, you know, I can't not. I'm using mixed greens, which I love. This has a little bit of diversity in color, which adds in that diversity of micronutrients. no, phytonutrients. You can skip that if you want, but I like it. And I'm gonna use some cucumber, which I'm gonna julienne or matchstick, but you can just slice it up any old way you want. I'm gonna use 1 medium-sized shredded carrot. Either a half or a whole quarter avocado, kind of up to you. Gonna wash my hands quick. And I have a sheet of nori that I'm going to slice up. Quickly, I'm gonna make a sauce or a dressing of maybe 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar and 1 tablespoon of coconut aminos. I whisk them together. You could add wasabi powder if you had it available, or whatever you wanted to kind of zhuzh that up. I'm just gonna spoon some over. Add some pickled ginger. And then sprinkle on some of the nori. Which looks a little crazy right now. But that is it. So that is an amazing lunch or dinner option. Also with this salmon, I highly recommend checking out our salmon salad recipe video, which this will make the best version of that going. You can also use it to make really quick salmon niçoise salad or an emergency snack with an avocado. So delicious. Thank you so much for joining me here today on our many batching of all the foods. It's been super fun. I hope you're feeling inspired to try this out, to make the time for organizing your food so that you're prepared for the week ahead, so that you know exactly what you're eating or have some ideas of things that you can kind of throw together, different sauces, different flavors, different proteins and vegetables, all coming together to make your life so much easier. Thanks so much for joining me.